Keegan expressed his love for the Ryder Cup, publicly, which we all saw, and I'm sure I haven't talked to him or seen him yet, but I'm sure he's over the moon and is going to do a great job. I mean, the younger captains that are selected are, just more likely to be playing. I think when you select guys in their 50s, it's less likely, or 40, late 40s, it's less likely for them to be playing. So yeah, I mean, if Keegan's in a really good spot coming in, it's gonna, Tiger was a playing captain at President's Cup. He was telling us about how much stuff he has to do besides playing. So Nathan Keegan and how good of a job he's gonna want to do. He's gonna love doing all the press and talking about the tournament and the cup and proud to be an American, all those things. So if he's in a good spot, it's gonna be really interesting and fun to see. Just overall acclimation, hitting the putts a little bit harder when you're playing chips, trying to position yourself on holes, even though you're short-sighted, as long as you're into the wind, you have to really start thinking that way again. And then the lag putting is really hard. It's just something, you'll be on the front of a green and the pin will be front, but you'll have like 50 feet. You just don't really realize it until you kind of pace it off and you're like, dang, back home, you're on the front edge of a green to a front pin, you have 20 feet or 18 feet. So it's just getting used to some of those small things. He's so laid back off the course. If you get him in like a dinner setting or something, he loves sports. He'll talk about sports all night long if you'd like. He's a very passionate individual, and he is, on the course he's intense. That's just how he competes and how he is. So I'm sure as a captain he's going to have sort of a mixed bag. I know he's not going to be afraid to hold a speech with the guys and really get everyone going. So I think whenever I don't know if he's coached or captained any other teams in his life, whether it's his kids' teams or something like that. But it's when someone's really passionate about something, they usually do really well. I mean, when you lose that many cups overseas, you definitely start to get in your own head, just as if I didn't win a tournament for 2 years, and you start to look in the mirror and be like, what's going on? What's wrong here? I mean, obviously it's a little different, but they're going to point at, every single direction. At the end of the day, us players just didn't play well. I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot of cups overseas where, teams both played really well and it was super competitive, and some teams got beat. Me myself, I felt like I played awful. Like I felt like I didn't really show up until the final round, and it was already way too late to play good golf at that point. So I think having someone that's a little bit younger, I'm gonna look at it as a pro. I'm a half glass full guy, a glass half full guy, and I think him playing and knowing sort of the trends of just sort of the trends on tour, you start to see a lot more recovery centers here. You start to see a lot of things of that nature of how we practice and stuff. So I feel like Keegan would understand sort of when we need to get up, when we need to practice, when we need to do this, and hopefully dodge anything we don't have to do. And maybe that will help us. No, I don't think so. I feel I try to prepare the best as I can. I just think overall preparation moving forward, if we're really trying to win these things overseas, it just needs to change. I think that's been the common trend of, in order to get ready for the Open, guys come and play the week before, and their entire team was playing the week before all those tournaments. And I feel like we just didn't show up early enough. And, it's on us because it sort of comes at a time where guys want some time off after a long season, and then, to jump right back in or to keep practicing. That's sort of like the tussle that we have, I think, as pros. And being in the States is so much easier. It's just a quick flight anywhere you go, versus flying overseas with the time change. So, I mean, I think there's going to be some preparation differences moving forward for our team. Just take everything off your plate. There's pictures and there's certain mandatory things we have to do, but in terms of sort of the knick-knacky stuff, you just try to take away as much as possible for the player. I mean, for me, my obligations are, doing media right now, and then, I may have one other thing that's like 15 minutes this week, but from Monday, Tuesday to Wednesday, I'm practicing pretty much all day and training when I need to and seeing my physio when I need to and all those things. And when you get into these team things, it's the same for both teams, don't get me wrong, but a good captain will try and peel back as much of that stuff as possible and make it as easy of a week as possible.
In your